Alright, hello everybody, it's me, Spurs Rail 96, and welcome to a Train Sim World Free live stream. It's been quite a while since I've done one. So yeah, we're back. We're back in the streaming business, and a very unusual stream. I don't usually stream on, well, a Wednesday. It's normally a Monday or a Sunday, but I tell you, I am excited. I am super excited, my gosh, because what we are looking at today is the DLC that I've been looking forward to for so long. What we are going to look at today is the one and the only Amtrak Acela Express that was released yesterday for all consoles, PC, yada yada yada. In the UK, it's currently priced at £14.99, aka £15. I think it's 23 or $24, I think. And it's basically a locomotive add-on to not only the Northeast Corridor Boston Sprinter, but also it adds some gameplay to the also new Northeast Corridor New York Trenton, which I currently don't have at the moment. But I was so excited. I was so excited. I picked this up this morning, and I was, just so keen to get into it. I thought, I did the tutorial this morning, and I was, pretty pleased with it from what I experienced with it so far. And I thought, screw it, why not do a stream? Why not do a stream? So let's go into the journey mode and go into the Acela's chapter. We're going to do high speed. I think we'll do a couple of journeys here, going from Providence to Boston and then Boston to Providence. I'm certainly going to get one service done, time depending, of course. So we'll do the first one here. Operate Amtrak Acela Express 2154 from Providence to Boston South Station. Firstly, I'd like to say I hope everyone is having a good week so far. And if you've picked up any of the new content that was released yesterday by Dovetail, aka the super duper, so-called super duper United States bundle, then I hope you're enjoying what you're playing with. Here we go. Operate Amtrak Acela, yada yada yada. So it's 585 tons, 8 cars. Okay, so it's 2 power cars and 6 coaches. Right. Let's unlock the doors. Right, let's put the reverser into neutral, stick it in the forward position. It's a dry day, so we won't need the wipers. Put the console lights up to max. We'll put the timetable light on in the center, just for the sake of it, I suppose. I'll put the automatic brake in minimal. The front headlights are already on for us. Excellent. That I like. Saves me running around like a maniac trying to get lights and things all sorted out. So that's all good. Let's head to a little side room here, and we're gonna... Should we turn on everything? Why not? I don't usually put on additional safety systems on North American routes. It's mainly just the alerter I stick on. But there she is, my baby. She is finally in the game, and oh boy, does she look pretty. Yeah, Amtrak Acela, still to this day, the fastest passenger train in North America. I think on average it does a speed of 70 miles per hour on the Northeast Corridor. Of course, the maximum permitted limit is 150 or 120 miles per hour. It does have tilting function enabled, and it's going to be sad when this train set is replaced by the hideously ugly Avelia Liberty. So the logos look pretty pretty nice. The coaches as well look quite nice as well. You've got some PIS systems going on, not only on the outside, but also on the inside. You've got first class, business class. I think you've got a little cafe, buffet car and what have you. And the doors do make a noise when they close. I think you get a slight announcement. I'm going to try and go here, I think, so you could try and hear the doors close. Nice. Alright. Let's release the brakes. Let's take it for a spin. My first impression was when I did the tutorial is I think this is one of the more better overall locomotive, North American locomotives in the game. I think Dovetail spent a bit more time with it, really, which is nice. I mean, that should be the standard on pretty much all of the Train Sim World locomotives. They're certainly cutting corners when it comes to in-depth quality, but it ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. The horn inside sounds better than outside. That's just my opinion. God, that train is loud in my headset. And whilst I'm at it, I best, for the sake of stream, I don't know, performance, I might as well turn on, the motion blur, just so it aids the stream quality a bit. Okay, so we got all the safety systems turned on. I mean, I only ever use the alerter, so AC, ESS, and ATC is a new thing for me, so if I complete a service in one piece with all the safety systems turned on, that's going to be an achievement for me. So, in case you're wondering, what does the Amtrak Acela offer to Boston Providence, it adds 20 services to the route, so that brings the total amount of Amtrak services on this route to 44, which isn't too bad. So it pretty much doubles the amount of Amtrak playable services on Boston to Providence. It's got 3 scenarios, which on paper look pretty interesting. And then you've got the free visual update to Northeast Corridor Boston Sprinter, which have the new Train Sim World free lighting, the new glorious looking cloud technology. It's also had some signaling reworked, and I think the tunnels as well have had a bit of a look into. So yeah, Boston Sprinter is, I think, a superior route, a better route than the very latest Northeast Corridor, New York Trenton. It feels more complete. I think you've got some static freight, stock and locomotives hanging around the yards, I think, which if I'm not mistaken, I think NEC New York Trenton doesn't have any freight static stock whatsoever. I mean, look, you can see there on the left-hand side some CSX freight cars. So I mean, you can't do any freight services on any of the Northeast Corridor routes, but you've got some static stock and locomotives hanging around. It just, as you're traveling at 60, 70 or 100 miles per hour, it makes it feel as though there's a bit of life going on in those yards. Right, I'll take a look at the chat. True Blue Flights, good morning. Hope you're well. True Blue Flights is enjoying the Trenton route and the Acela and the New Jersey Transit. That's good to hear. If there was any criticism with the Amtrak Acela, I think it has to be the sounds. Now, the sounds aren't too bad, far from it. I mean, there's There's much worse sounds on the North American stock in this game, but I think they need to be implemented a little bit better, that's all, especially when you're going from a standstill or coming to a standstill. Oh my good god. Don't kill me, game. No. Off you. There we go. It's a new experience for me. But yeah, I think the sounds can be implemented just a little bit better. For horn is actually not too bad. It's just they need a bit of editing, and then I think you're there. And if I had to be super critical, I'm actually quite surprised there is no services that enable you to do like a deadhead kind of service that goes from either Boston South to Southampton Yard, or vice versa, going from Southampton Yard to Boston Sprinter, like say in the very early morning or late at night. I mean, I imagine you'd have to take some Acela train sets out of service and stick them in Southampton Yard. Maybe you don't, I don't know, but it just would have been nice to have some dead end kind of services, or some taking the train out of service. I mean, what's our first stop of the journey? Route 128. That's the first stop. It's 25 miles away, and very soon we'll be able to stretch the Acela's legs, because we're about to reach top speed of 125 miles per hour. Very quick indeed. Right, now we can absolutely go for it. Let's go, go, go. Now, these screens here are a bit of a mixed bag. This screen I'm not impressed with. I mean, it looks authentic, but I think the graphics of it are a little bit under par. This screen, on the other hand, looks pretty decent. I'll show you what I mean if I can try and not get myself into trouble with the safety systems. Is it multifunction display too? Yes, it is. Yeah, if you click these, you've got the status of various bits and bobs. It doesn't affect the train in any way, shape or form, but it just gives you a bit of, you know, something to do. So you've got, let's have a look at that one. So you can select that, and it gives you all the statistics of the lead power car. If I was to return, the next one you have is on the brake. See, look at that, status of the friction brakes. How cool is that? It's nice to, you know, look at some of the actual, you know, stats and see what's going on within the internals. That I do like indeed. It's just something to fiddle. And then we've got, what's this one here? This is the status on the tilting system, which you can turn on and off, which is yeah, quite nice. me likey very much. They've also modelled the complete inside of the Amtrak power car, but for some reason you can't walk down the entire length of the Amtrak not cab car, power car, sorry, which is a bit odd, but there we are. It's just the way it goes, I suppose. Right, now able to reach the maximum permitted speed, which you could never do before until now. 150 miles per hour. Oh boy, oh boy. Now, if you've got New York Trenton and the Amtrak Acela, it does add additional services to New York Trenton. I think it adds 44 new services, which is quite a big chunk of playable services on the New York Trenton route. Excuse me. Now, I don't have that route because honestly I was a little bit disappointed with New York to Trenton. Now, you're probably asking, well, how could you be disappointed with a route that you haven't even purchased Spurs Rail and haven't even tried for yourself? I watched an in-depth video of New York to Trenton yesterday. It was about an hour and 20 odd minutes, and it's a tale of two halves, sad to say. On the good side, the route itself going from Newark Airport to Trenton Transit Center is actually pretty good. The area around the Northeast Corridor and the stations, they look pretty good. The NJ Transit ALP 46 and the cab car and coaches, they are pretty good, not just looks wise inside and out, but sounds as well for a change are very, very nice, and the physics of it are pretty decent as well. And then there's the downside. The route wise, the section of that route going from Newark to Newark Airport to New York Penn or Sunnyside Yard, that has hardly been touched. I mean, it's essentially a 6-year-old route, just visually, well, graphically I should say, updated to Train Sim World 3 standards. So that is very disappointing. I mean, I think the most notable difference visually with that version of the New York area of the Northeast Corridor compared to the 2020 version of it is Sunnyside Yard, ironically, as it seems to have been freshened up a bit, cleaned up a bit, the scenery. Now, I think Sunnyside Yard, you could see in real life the Chrysler building. I don't think that's in the Train Sim World 3 version. If it is, that'll be fantastic. But yeah, not good. I think even the water texture at Trenton Transit Center and Newark Station, they are different as well, which is ridiculous. So on one side you've got a nice shiny new route, and then on the other side you've got a 6-year-old route stitched together, so it's not great. The services as well, I mean, there's like 300 odd services if you add the Acela to that route's timetable. It looks busy, but at the same time, yeah, I just don't think it's busy enough. I think Dovetail could have certainly knocked it out of the park a bit better. Why not add some static freight stock in the sidings and yards like we have on this section of Northeast Corridor? Why can't we have some AI Long Island Railroad M7 and M3s, scuttling in and out of New York Penn? That would have been quite nice to have had, some life to that route's timetable, particularly in the morning and the late afternoon / early evening period. And yeah, I just felt that with New York Trenton, there was more potential, and I don't think Dovetail fully utilized its potential. It's pretty obvious why they're cutting corners, because Dovetail has become almost like a car factory where they're just pumping out content every 5 minutes. I mean, yesterday they released 3 DLCs on the same day. I mean, that's mad. I mean, I don't think Dovetail have ever done that. So yeah, it's a bit strange, but yeah, it's a bit odd. But it's at the same time, it's Dovetail's product. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. But I hope that this isn't the new normal for Dovetail and their products, just pumping stuff out just for the sake of it, half finished routes or half arsed routes. And yeah, patch it and fix it all up afterwards. Right, 10 miles to go until Route 128. I am being a bit cautious with the speed side of things, I will admit that. I'm not right on the limit, as I normally am. Well, we've got 130 miles per hour speed limit coming up. There we are. But yeah, if you was to ask me what is the better Northeast Corridor route in Train Sim World 3 as of now, ironically, it's got to be Boston Sprinter, with the updated visuals, with, you know, the addition of the Amtrak Acela, the updates to signalling and the tunnels. It just feels more of a complete package. You know, it's got things in the yards that bring it to life. Like I said earlier, you know, your CSX locomotives and rolling stock. Sadly, the New York to Trenton route, as much as I was looking forward to saying I love it, it's fantastic, it's just not. So that's a shame. Right, let me view all messages. There we go, that's fine. It's alright, my live chat on YouTube was having a moment, which it always seems to do. Alright, we've got 6.5 miles to go until Route 128. I originally thought it was called Route 128th Street, but obviously I got that wrong. I got that hopelessly wrong. I was thinking of the New York Harlem line, that's why. I tell you, ever since the Acela released yesterday, I just downloaded pretty much everything, all the North American stock I had, and routes, and always enough for Acela. Sounds like a Formula 1 car. What have we got here in terms of cameras? We've got a head out left and a head out right. I'm looking the wrong way and I should be braking. I was just exploring the various camera options you've got on this train. Don't worry, game, I'm not doing anything stupid, don't kill me. What else have we got to play? Have we got a blind? That'll be a challenge for you. The windows open. And they close. You've got wiper functionality as well here on the left hand side, so you can fiddle with heaters, air conditioning, cab temperature as well if you must, wipers. Yeah, what else have you got? Is there a contact signal functionality? There must be somewhere on this train. The tilting is turned on. You've got cruise control. I forgot about that. I could have turned cruise control on, but I always prefer manual control. More of a challenge, I feel. Right, now's the time to brake. My goodness me, it's time to brake. Better be best safe than sorry. Because in the tutorial I tried to just leaving the brake on minimal, and yeah, I was yeah. I didn't stop at the exactly on the stop marker. So I'm just going to take it steady. Some CSX box cars there. Alright, here we go. Don't know why the brakes suddenly cut into submission halfway whilst applying the brakes. That's very odd. Oh, we got a brake. Come on, train. Brake for all you're worth. That's it. There we go. The brakes do take quite a long time to, you know, fully come into effect. So that's nice. Okay, let's unlock the doors. Here we are at Route 128. There's a very noisy plane overhead, it seems. Yeah, just the model of this looks fantastic. I mean, I'm not from North America, but this is a train I've wanted to see for ages. Ever since Boston Sprinter came out, I was like, we need the Acela, 110%. I even did an in-depth video stating the reason as to why we need the Amtrak Acela, what it's all about, the history of it. Wow. And it's in the game, finally. Yeah, so these are the coaches. You've got first class, business class, or a quiet car. Another business class. I think they're all business class afterwards. Oh no, you've got the Cafe Acela. The cafe car is actually pretty nice. I like the cafe car. Probably the best cafe car in the game. It's just a shame you can't have a cup of tea. What one's this? This is just business class, and then there's a business class. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not like a family car, or like, you know, kids' car or something. That's the catenary of the Acela. It is amazing. I can't contain my emotions. I love it. I love it. Is this worth full price? 110%. I mean, it's £15 in the UK, I think 23, 22 or $24. It's worth it. By far, this is the best DLC out of the free USA DLCs that was released yesterday. There was, what is it? This, the Acela. Scratch me here a minute there. There was New York to Trenton, Northeast Corridor route, and then there's the what is it? That Union Pacific like Heritage Pack for Sherman Hill, which, I mean, I don't know who's going to buy that, but that certainly ain't going to be me. But yeah, this is the best one for sure. The best DLC out of those three. It's just a good product overall. There's what, I think 2 little niggles with it, but other than that, it's not bad at all. I think I may be a bit biased here, but I think this has got to be the best DLC, certainly that I've experienced since Train Sim World 3 has come out. Let's have a little shot of it departing Boston. Not Boston. Route 128 or Route 128. Right, the next stop is Boston Back Bay, track number 2, which is just under 10 miles away. We're due in at 13:36. I think as far as services are concerned on the Boston Providence with the Acela, is literally just up and down the line. There's a couple of services where I think in the late afternoon period, it goes via a particular location. I'm not sure why. It was on the message log. It said to go via, I don't know, it's very close to Boston South Station. I'm not sure where it was. I think it was just before. It was between Boston Back Bay and Boston South Station. I'm not too sure why, but I was looking at the minutes of how long that service would take to complete, and it's way longer than all the other Amtrak services. It's like over an hour and 10 minutes. So whether you have to make an additional stop somewhere, I don't know, or maybe you're just stuck at the entrance of Boston South Station, because I imagine at that time of day there'll be a huge traffic jam of trains going in and out of Boston to either down the Northeast Corridor or to the Yard. That could most likely be why. It'd be nice to do some commuter services with the pink MBTA trains, the cab car and the F40 PH. It'd be nice to do some services and stopping services, and you see the Amtrak Acela thundering past. That'd be nice. 150 miles per hour speed coming up. We're cruising along at 112. Not bad at all. Beautiful cruising machine. Like a dream. Who needs cruise control? Alright, let's just increase the speed to 120 or thereabouts. I've got a cup of tea sitting next to me. I'm tempted to have a sip of it while I'm driving, but is that a wise move? I don't think it is. I think I best take the smart decision and not drink the tea until I get to Boston Back Bay. I think the stations you stop at is, for all the Amtrak services, maybe excluding the scenarios, I think it's where you got Providence, obviously, Route 128, Boston Back Bay, and then Boston South. That's right? Yeah, that's right. So yeah, if you want to see the Acela at a standstill and up close, if you are going to be a virtual rail fan in this game, then those are the stations you should stop at. Right, we've got a speed limit of 60 miles per hour coming up. We're very much now in the Boston area. Not sure if the Boston scenery itself has had a bit of a tidy up. I don't think it has, but I think the Boston skyline was pretty decent anyway. You've got a yellow signal as well coming up. My gosh, I better get down the speed pretty quick. I could just see that blue needle on the dial racing with us. Got a brake. My gosh. Don't kill me. Do not kill me. Don't kill me, safety systems. I am overspeeding, but I am braking as hard as I can possibly. Oh my goodness. Don't put on the emergency brakes. I beg. We're so close. I do not want to mess this up. There we go. No, 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 no. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Here we go. Nearly cocked it up. Nearly screwed it up. Blimey. The problem is the computer for it is here, and I can't see it because I have the gauge, the speedometer gauge, in the way. I could just turn it off, but yeah, I suppose it's more entertaining. Alright, let's get down the speed because that is exactly what it's doing. This is my first time running ATC and the signal system, or whatever it's called, the AC SES. Certainly a challenge, especially with the computer being blocked by the HUD. We've got an Amtrak service. There's a stopping point. Let's begin braking now. That should be fine. Happy days. Perfect. Alright, let's unlock the doors. And I'll have a tea break, I think. Just got something on my watch. You have one message from somebody. I think I might also plan to make some scenario videos again on the Amtrak Acela. I don't usually make scenario videos on my channel. It's mainly timetabled services, but you know what? With the Amtrak Acela, a train I love very much, I might make some scenarios again. Why not? Anyway, I'll save the usual YouTube shenanigans. If you have enjoyed the stream up to this point, whether you're watching for the first time or on playback, or you're a viewer of my channel that's been around for a long time, then I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the like button below. And if you are watching for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you. Right. Oh, that's needed. My gosh. Off goes one train. And soon there will be another. Mine. Oh, lovely. The lighting on this route looks so much better. You know, credit where credit is due. I mean, Tuftail gets a lot of flack and stick from producing bang average routes and content. You know what? This is the first DLC in a very long time, probably since Spirit Steam or the upgraded Southeastern high speed route. But I'd say this is actually a very nice little product they've made here. And if you haven't picked it up, I'd get it. And also pick up the NEC Boston Providence. Excuse me. Pick up the NEC Boston Providence because yeah, it's pretty good. There's an MBTA train now. Okay, so we got to go via East Limits Cove interlocking. Where is that then? How far? It doesn't say. It's somewhere. Apparently it's on the train. How can this be? A place has boarded our train. Now, I'm not sure. Am I going to have enough time to do another service? Just looking at the time in the UK, it's 3:15. I might squeeze in. I think I can squeeze in one more service. I think I can. We'll just go in the opposite direction from Boston to Providence. It's just I'm a little bit tight for time, that's all. Okay, speed limit is 15 miles per hour. What time are we due into Boston South? 13:42, so we've got 2 minutes, blimey. I was certainly taking it a bit easy. And again, I'm sure you can understand my very cautious approach into Boston South Station. I don't want to be killed and eaten by the safety systems. Under the highway we go, or highways. There's like 1, 2, 3 of them, I think. Got a yellow. We can now proceed into Boston South Station. Wow, that's a lot of trains in that platform. What's the time? Blimey, it's only 13:41 in the game. It's not even rush hour. Blimey. Jeez, that's a lot of services. That's a lot of trains in that station in the middle of the afternoon. I can break the speed limit a tad. There we go. Yeah, so what's kicking around Boston South today? Let's have a look. It's going to be very loud and noisy, that's for sure. So we got F40PH, 2 of them in fact. Make that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them are F40PHs. Blimey, that's like, is that 8 of them? All of them? Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. All 9 of them are F40PH or MBTA commuter services. That's cool. And that's another reason why Boston Sprinter is a superior route than to New York to Trenton, because in this line you've actually got a branch line for the Massachusetts commuter services. You got that one there. I think it's the goes down to Stoughton. On the New York to Trenton route, you don't have a complete branch line as such for the New Jersey Transit, which is a terrible shame, because I think that is no doubt the star of that particular route. The ALP 46 and the cab cars, they are very good indeed. We're a little bit behind time, but I'm sure the passengers won't mind that. We're just over a minute late. I will stop here, I think. It's time 15:20. I'm going to try and squeeze in another service if I can. It's going to be tight. Oh, come on, game. Really? I stopped in the... Oh, my God. Never mind. I hate it when it's being picky of where to stop within the stop marker. There, you happy now, game? I should hopefully... I think so. There we go. Right, let's unlock the doors and allow the passengers to exit the train. Here we are. The service has terminated here. A service from Providence. Back in the cab and lock the doors. There we are. That took me just over 43 minutes. I got a gold. Not bad. First time running with those safety systems on. That weren't bad at all. Right. Time. Alright, fine. We'll continue it. I'll try and squeeze it in if I can. Because I'm up against the clock, I'm going to have to just use the alerter, I'm afraid. Hey Thierry, how are you? Hope you're well. Okay, right. We better get things set up pretty quickly. I'm just very conscious of time, that's all. Because I have other bits and bobs to do before I make my din-din. Come on, there we go. Minimum, that's all good. Tickety-boo. Right, just the alerter for this trip, I'm afraid. Sorry to say. My gosh, that is loud in my headset. I've got to turn that down. We got 3 Amtrak services here. That's nice for a change. Is this the only Acela? Seems to be, doesn't it? Oh well, one's better than none. I'll take that any day of the week. Man, I just can't stop looking at this train and grueling inside. Oh, I've waited so long, and I don't care how many times I repeat that. Oh, so pleased to see it. The one DLC I have wanted for so long, and it's here. It's here. Oh, I love it. Worth every of my hard-earned pennies and pounds. Oh, fantastic. When I get New York Trenton on a discount, and hopefully when that route's in a bit of a better state, then I'll certainly give the Amtrak Acela a run on that for sure. I think I'm not sure of the mileage on Boston Providence. Is it 47 miles or 50 miles? I'm not sure. But I know New York to Trenton is what, 58 miles, near 60 miles. So yeah, more mileage the better. Right, we haven't got the AC, SES or ATC to worry about on this trip, so we can be a bit more aggressive with the throttle. If you don't like that, I apologise. Get out of the way, stupid poles. I want to see my glorious Acela in action. Once again, we're in sunny conditions. Of course, every journey, well, every service in the journey mode is apparently dynamic, but It certainly doesn't change drastically on the weather front. Thierry, is the Acela living up to your expectations? Oh, absolutely, 110%. This is probably one of the best North Loco add-ons in Train Sim World for a very long time. I mean, to just tell you how excited I was in the build-up to this, I picked it up this morning. I paid full price for it, no discounts. It's the first DLC since Spirit of Steam that I've picked up in, a day or two after release at full price, because I think the routes in particular that Dovetail have released since Train Sim World 3 certainly have, I don't think personally, have been as good as other routes they've made in the past. The only exception to that would be the extended Southeastern High Speed route. That's my favourite modern British route, and it goes to show, doesn't it? Once Dovetail have a bit more time to themselves to, improve things and make the route better, the difference is quite spectacular. Not only in the experience, but the visual side of things, the sound side of things, the driving characteristics. Give them a bit more time and they will deliver. But unfortunately, a Dovetail have a board and a management which doesn't like the word more time. They want content made now. They want routes out now, so they can make as much money as possible, as sad it is to say. Yeah, but despite Dovetail having a ticking time bomb over their heads with pretty much every DLC they release, no doubt the Amtrak Acela has met my expectations. The sound of it actually ain't too bad. I think the only quarrel I have with the sounds is I think it just needs to be implemented a little bit better, that's all. But yeah, the driving side of things, what you could do in the cab, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. You can fiddle with the screen on the left hand side here, look at some statistics of what's going on in the train. So with the tilting side of things, the brakes, of course you've got the safety systems which are fully operational. You've got wipers and all that kind of stuff. The coaches as well look pretty good. I had a little walk around the exterior of the coaches. I haven't walked inside of them personally, but I've watched a video of someone covering the Amtrak Acela in all its full glory, and the interior of those coaches don't look too bad, I must be honest. And I'm overspeeding massively. Brake. Just the way this thing feels is I don't know I don't know what an Acela is like to drive, but yeah, this representation of the Acela ain't too bad at all. You can tell straight away when a product is rushed, but I think this locomotive certainly Dovetail have I think spent a little bit more time with it, and rightly so, because just how iconic the Amtrak Acela is to North America. Adds 20 plus services to Boston Sprinter. If you have the New York Penn to Trenton, which I don't personally recommend getting at the moment, because I think it's not as good as I expected. This adds 44 services to New York to Trenton, which ain't too bad. That's a pretty good chunk of services to play with. The only other quarrel or disappointment I have with the Acela is that you can't do services going from Boston to Southampton Yard, or vice versa, or taking the train through the train wash. I think you could do a scenario where you can take the train through the train wash, but yeah, it's just a bit disappointing that you can't do at least, I'd say, 3 or 4 services of taking the train out of service or putting it into service, vice versa. And maybe some AI trains, AI services that may do that. But yeah, I think it'd be nice to have that kind of aspect to it. But other than that, that's just me scratching. That's just me being nitpicky. This is definitely worth every penny. If you haven't got it, pick it up, regardless if it's at full price or discount. It's worth it. And also, if you haven't got Boston Sprinter, now is a perfect time to get it with the addition of the Train Sim World 3 skies, clouds, the lighting. I think they worked on with some of the lighting in the tunnels or underground sections. The signals apparently have had a few tweaks or have been upgraded, whatever that means in English. But hey, any work done to Boston Providence along with the arrival of the Amtrak Acela, yeah, I'm happy. And if you was to ask me which Northeast Corridor route would I recommend, ironically, the one that's coming up to 2 years old is the better product, I feel. It just feels a more complete package. Not just because I'm saying that with the Acela, but everything around it, the visuals, the services you can do, the freight rolling stock that's been added to the route. You can't do actual freight services, but just as you're thundering along at 100 or 120 miles per hour, you see freight cars and CSX locomotives knocking about the yards. It just makes it feel like there's a bit of action, a bit of life going on in those yards. Alright, the next stop is Route 128. Exactly 10 miles away. We're due at 1:15 in the afternoon. Excelente. Here I picked up the Acela and the New York to Trenton route straight away. Excellent. Well, on the Acela, that is. I mean, if everyone likes the New York to Trenton route, I don't blame them. There are some good bits of New York to Trenton, but there's definitely some not so good bits either. No doubt about that. Rushed. And it's hard for me to say that because I really do like the Northeast Corridor. Any Northeast Corridor route I welcome with open arms, but when it's not been done right, or when the potential has not been fully utilised, I have a serious problem with that. Yeah, it's a shame. Hopefully, as time goes by, Dovetail may add some, things to the timetable. Some AI only Long Island Railroad stock going in and out of New York, or maybe bumping up the New Jersey Transit services a bit more. Double them would be quite nice. Some static freight stock definitely is needed in those yards. I mean, I don't get it. Why have it? You can have it on Boston Providence, but you can't have it on New York to Trenton. I don't know. Maybe they were going to implement that freight stock in the yards and locomotives, but maybe they just didn't have the time, unfortunately. As far as add-ons are concerned, I would quite like to see for New York Trenton the AEM7, I think. Depends on the time period of that route. I'm not sure what the time period is. I think the time period of Boston Providence is the early or late 2000s. So late 2000s to early 2010s, maybe. I'd say 2009 to 2011, that kind of time period. So maybe New York to Trenton would be the same time period. I'm not too sure. Now, in the tutorial which I did earlier this morning, the commentator speaking said that the tilting of the Acela in some sections of the Northeast Corridor can't be used. Now, I don't know what section of the Northeast Corridor where you can't turn on the tilting. I'm not sure what part of the corridor that is, but heck, I'm not sure, it might be this route even. But yeah, it's nice to have that little feature, and the coaches do tilt. You do see a tilt on the coaches. Let's see if I can have a show you. Oh, it's quite hard actually. It's predominantly straight. We're not at a bit of a sharp curve or a corner yet, so when's the next sharp bend? I suppose there, just before the station. Oh well. Never mind. But I can assure you that it does. The coaches do tilt. The power cars don't tilt, but the coaches do tilt, which is quite unique. Now, what I would normally do in a stream at this point in time is announce when the next stream would be, and what route and locomotive I'll be using, etc, etc. But unfortunately I can't do that at the moment. I mean, the problem is I haven't been able to stream as much or pump out as much content lately because of I've been taking care of one of my family members, so it means I can't really stream as much as I would like, which is a pain in the neck for me. Because I like streaming to all you lovely ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are around the world. So yeah, this may be the last stream I'll do in a little while, but you know, there may be more. There'll be more streams to come, no doubt. When? I have no idea. Hopefully the next stream won't be too far away. There's another CSX locomotive. I think they're either GP38s or SD40. Is it me or am I braking way too early? I have no idea. We're 2 minutes roughly ahead of schedule, so it's not too bad. SNCF271. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Welcome. Just taking Amtrak's Rocket, aka the Acela Express, out for a run on Boston Sprinter. Show the world what it can do in train sim world. Ooh, need to brake, need to brake, need to brake. My gosh, that's not going to stop in a month for Sundays, is it? Ah, brake. Oh, I think I'm going to overshoot the platform here. Oh well, it's me being an idiot. Oh well. Oh dear. Oh well, thankfully I can reverse into the platform without getting caught by the red signal, I think. He says. Oh, brake. That's I suppose realistic-ish kind of braking physics for you there. Takes a while to stop. So much so I missed the platform, missed the station completely. Let's see what this train's like at reversing then, I suppose. Give it the full rail test, I suppose. I was about to say road test, but this is not Top Gear. This is a train sim world. There goes the engines. Engines? That's the power unit firing up, or whatever you want to call it. The noise of the Acela. Oh, I mean, look how much I've missed. Oh dear. Oh well. I'm sure we've all done this. Massively overshooting the platform. Thierry, another NEC we would like to see would be Washington to Baltimore, which is already in Train Sim Classic. Yeah, that'll be a nice one to see as well. I agree. Lee Wood, good afternoon. Hope is all well with you. I'm very well, thank you. Enjoying the Acela so far. Hope you are too. I am enjoying the Acela. Lee Wood, very much so. Right, that should do it. I'm going to be very late now, going to Providence, but never mind. Oh yeah, we're very late. Never mind. Well, thankfully, this train has the need for speed, so we might be able to make up lost time. Because I think this part of the Northeast Corridor going from Route 128 to... Not that, that's the branch line. What is it, to Boston? You can get up to the maximum limit, which is 150 or near enough 120 miles per hour, so that's not too bad. There's Providence. We got Washington DC. Yeah, that's our next stop. Providence, formed of 6 cars. You know what? I'm going to be a little naughty devil. What am I doing? Up. There we go. That door swings. Blimey. I want to show you something. I really like it. Let me see if I found it. Look, you've got a little panel here. There's a panel there. Wait, it opened before. There we go. Oh! We're open. Open. Oh no. I want to open the door to the panel, not... Oh no. Oh, there's a DSC switch. I opened it before. Was that this one? Well, maybe it doesn't do it when you're at a standstill. I'm not sure. There's a nice little gimmick here. There we go. It says here, look. Thank you for choosing Amtrak. Except for when you're running nearly 3 minutes late. Then you don't want to be choosing Amtrak. Right, we gotta go now. Ah! I want to see the doors closing. Please. I like the door closing sounds. Right, we gotta go now. Full power. Right, we gotta rock and roll now to Providence. We're up against the clock. Now we're up for a challenge. A race against the clock. That's going to be fun. Let's have a look at the chat while we're trundling. Well, say trundling. Getting up to speed. Thierry, would be cool if the Metroliner cab car was added to Boston Providence. Yeah, that would be quite good, actually. I'm surprised Dovetail haven't implemented that. Maybe they will at some stage. With some substitution, maybe, from... the New York, Trenton route, maybe. Thierry, 3 minutes is nothing. 3 minutes late is nothing for Amtrak. Many of the services in real life, hours late. Alright, we got 28 miles to Providence. We're due in, what, 13:37, that's what, 17 odd minutes, so we're up against it. But I'm convinced we can get there. On time, or roughly on time. Yeah, I mean, the cab looks pretty nice. There's some switches down here that you can't use. Not sure why, but you've got an acknowledge pedal there. You got a horn foot switch. What are they? What's that? Oh wow! You can press the. You can use the horn with your foot. Wow, that's cool, isn't it? Oh, we're going too fast. I'm getting so excited. How cool is that? I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to focus. Focus. I like that. That's a cool little gimmick. That you can use the hook with your the horn with your foot. I mean, you'd have to literally look down and press the button, but unless you can do a shortcut on the keyboard if you have a computer. But that's nice all the way. Nice little gimmick. You've got switches up here. You've got the pantograph. You've got panto down section. There's a little coat hanger. What else have we got? No, that doesn't work. MCB, it's on automatic. HPA, head and power, that's turned on, so that's good. That's what you need. That is what you need. So the passengers can stay warm and comfy. Not feeling like they're on a train to hell or something. Right, let's get up to speed again. You know what? I might give the cruise control a go just to see what it's like. I tried in the tutorial. It's not my. I'm not a fan of cruise control really, not just in the game but in real life. Right, and then we apply the throttle, and then I think the train will then just manage the speed itself. That is, unless it's broken. It shouldn't be. I've been really pleased with the Acela up to this point. Let's hope there's something that isn't broken and doesn't destroy the reputation of what is proving to be a very nice little DLC in Train Sim World. Right, we're at roughly 130 miles per hour now. We've got a speed limit of 125 coming up, and yeah, it seems to be holding the speed. Not bad at all. It works. That's nice. Seriously, I'm pleased with that. It may sound like I was being sarcastic, but I like that it works. I'm going to turn it off now. Keep the cruise control off, sorry. I prefer just driving it in manual mode. Then it feels like I'm actually driving the damn thing. 21 miles until Providence. Just thinking of that, actually, what Thierry said in the chat not too long ago about the Amfleet cab car. I'm surprised that they haven't enabled that. But then what Dovetail say is that, oh, it takes away the experience of having to go around the merry-go-round at Southampton. or whatever they will say. Ooh, we got 150 coming up. We can reach the maximum permitted speed on the northeast corridor of 150 miles per hour. That is pretty fast. I'm going to be a numpty. Can I catch it up? I'm not going to catch it up in a month for Sundays. The Formula One of North American passenger. That's what it is, plain and simple. Thierry, on the Acela you can open the coupler hatch. Can you really? I never knew that. Must be a switch on the back wall. Maybe enables me to open the coupler hatch. There's some buttons I know behind the seat here. Activate the cab. I can't obviously see, with a chair in my way. But I mean, I never knew you could open the coupler hatch, but that's a nice little gimmick. Something you could do on Scenario Planner, I suppose. Couple up 2 Amtrak train sets. Oh, you have to go outside and press the on the nose cone. Is it that button there, maybe? That's the sand button. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't know, should I open it? At speed of 146? I don't think I will. But that's a nice touch. Thank you for that, Thierry. This Acela's getting better and better. Me likey very much. Very much. Right, let's get back up to 150. We're 9 miles per hour short. I'm surprised I haven't encountered a red signal on this stream today, considering that I think some of the MBTA services do stop at all stations, but I'm not. Is there any other? I'm going over speed here. Whoops. Oopsie daisy. Let me just have a look. Is there any other stations? There's Mansfield, what is there? Attleborough, and some Canton Junction as well. Okay. I just thought that I would encounter an MBTA service in front of me, so I'd have to manage the speed and stop at a red signal if necessary. Not today. The Amtrak's been able to fully stretch its legs non-stop. Oh, there's an MBTA train right there. But then again, I'm just thinking I'm on the in the middle, aren't I, of the railroad, so track-wise, so I won't really encounter any red signals. Right, under 10 miles to go until Providence. Right, now's a good time to start braking. I mean, I like the fact that this locomotive takes a while to decrease in speed. I don't know if it's 100% realistic and or authentic to the real life Acela Express, but hey, it's different braking characteristics, which is certainly welcome. Adds a bit of character to the physics of this express train. Going back up to 125 very shortly. Poor House, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. The only thing I don't want to spend D50 this week for that. D50, I presume you mean $50. Well, I mean, I'd definitely recommend picking up the Amtrak Acela. That is if you have the Boston Sprinter route at least. Yeah, I've probably said it 5-6 times now, but yeah, 100%. I'd recommend picking this up. It's what, £15 in the UK. It's what is that? 22, 23, maybe $24. Can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but it's worth it. It's one of the better DLCs Dovetail has released in a very long time. I mean, I know it's only a locomotive, but you know, I think I'd take a locomotive add-on over a new route at the moment any day of the week, hands down. Not because it's cheaper, but because yeah. It's a bit more of a quality product than the routes they're churning out at the minute, hands down. Well, we better get down speed now, very, very quickly. Yeah, but the braking does take some time to get used to. So you have to be pretty much on the marks with it, which, as you can see, I'm definitely not on top form today, driving-wise. Not the best driver in Train Sim World, I'll be very honest about that. I'm sure there's worse drivers than me. I mean, some people don't buy Train Sim World for driving the train. Some people just, I suppose, experience Train Sim World from, you know, rail fanner's perspective, you know, looking at the stations, watching the trains go by, creating liveries and scenarios, etc., etc. We got 4 miles to go until Providence. So yeah, 2 trips on the Acela Express today, 2 different experiences, one with the safety systems turned on, and this trip with most of the safety systems turned on, the exception being the alerter. Definitely need to learn a bit more of the ATC and the AC SES. I think I need to look up some videos or some articles online of the innards of it and what they're needed for and why they work, etc., etc., and how they work. I think on the New York to Trenton route there is a what is it? I think there's a tutorial on those safety systems, but obviously if you don't have New York to Trenton, yeah, it's a bit of a hard thing to do. Unless you just look up the tutorials online, of course. We got over 3 miles to go until Providence, everybody. Is 50 this week? Oh, I see, okay. Poorhouse does have journeys with it. It does have a journey mode for the Boston Sprinter, that is correct. Has its own set of journeys. I think it's got like 24 bits of gameplay stitched together. Tutorial, 3 scenarios, and I presume a majority of its service package, albeit conducted in different weather conditions. So yeah, 20 services it adds to the Boston Sprinter timetable that pretty much nearly doubles the amount of Amtrak playable services on Boston Sprinter, and if you do have the Northeast Corridor, New York Trenton, the Amtrak Acela does substitute into that route with its own timetable layer of 44 services, which is quite a big chunk for that route. Because without the Amtrak Acela, I think the route would be a little bit on the quiet side. I mean, it is on the quiet side, but I think it would be even quieter. It won't be like the busiest passenger railroad in America. Certainly from the videos and gameplay I've seen, its timetable has underperformed, let's say. Right, need to get down to 60 as we're coming into Providence now, and we're ahead of schedule, just about. Excellent. I've certainly pushed the boundaries of the speed limit just a tad. Just a bit conscious of time, that's all. Not timetable time, but time in real life time. I have things to be getting on with. I brought in the recycling, yes I did. Just making sure I didn't leave the recycling outside. Because sometimes people nick the recycling bags and bottle box. Or glass box, I should say. Which is incredibly irritating. We had our paper bag stolen last week. And somehow it's returned. Crazy. Right, we're thundering into Providence, way over the speed limit. Put it on minimal. Nearly there. That should do it, I think. I don't know how picky this stop marker is going to be. Whoop, don't go too far. Alright, rock and roll, shimmer and shake. I've done it. Just in time. Oh yeah, I'm going to fiddle with that nose cone. Oh, look at that. Can you close it? Yes, you can. Look at that. Oh, I like that. I mean, you can't really do much with it, but that's a nice animation there. Oh, me likey. Dovetail, for once you've done good with a DLC. And it's worth the price as well. Thankfully, the Loco DLC prices haven't increased. Well, they have increased, but not astronomically, like the routes. I mean, but $40 and £30 for a route, I'm sorry. It's not worth it, regardless how good it is. No chance. But the Acela is worth every hard-earned penny. You got to pick it up, people. That is if you have the Boston Sprinter route or the under par New York Trenton. But we got a silver that time. That's not too bad. I mean, we did have to reverse into Route 128 after I overshot the platform by quite a margin. But yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes quite a nice stream on probably the best DLC that has been released for Train Sim World 3 in my personal opinion. Well, since Train Sim World 3 has been released. And that is, of course, the glorious, the magnificent Amtrak Acela Express, which you can see here. There's its journey modes. You got expressive, high speed, neither snow, no rain, and after dark. But yeah, that concludes this stream. If you did enjoy it, I would very appreciate it if you would consider liking the stream, and if you are watching for the first time, be it live or on playback, then I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Take care.